Hi guys, I'm Cass. Welcome back to another episode of Toon Overload. This one's coming out a little late. Been extremely busy last couple of days, but
Hello.
the very late introduction.
Yes, indeed.
But this is kind of a special episode. We got to see the season finale of season one and the season premiere season two, plus an extra episode thrown in there.
Yep.
Because I genuinely think the three episode format is really good. But so the season one finale is just kind of in a weird spot because it's only like 7 episodes,
Yeah.
which when we go to like season two, checking right now, I think it like jumped to like 21.
God.
So it like literally tripled in episodes, but so the season one finale is Brian, a portrait of a dog. Look at my notes here. The really rough rundown is there's a heat wave in Quahog, and the Griffins enter Brian in a dog show.
To try and win $500 to get a new air conditioner.
Yeah, and that's just like one of the like most cut and dry plots there was.
Yeah. Brian doesn't want to be in the dog show because he feels he's too superior and he
Yeah,
feels like he's a second grade citizen.
yeah, that's basically going to become this like plot point in like a few seasons. Like there's two distinctive Brian plots. There actually three. There's I need more rights. I'm a man stuck in a dog's body, which I enjoy that. That's like a weird like gray area. There's the oh I want to be a writer, and my favorite one, geez Louise, I need to get laid. I'm a borderline incel.
And I'm an alcoholic.
Uh, he won't even agree to that. He'll just be like, I just have a drinking issue.
I just have a drinking issue. Uh,
But just looking at the notes right now, the first thing I've put down was the opening cutaway was just really freaking confusing. Like I don't know if that was like a reference to a TV show or like
yeah.
if it was just like there because the guy was just I think it was a dad. He was just like, "Hey, we're
Beating
so
on his kid.
yeah," and then the wife's like, "Hey, 8 is
8
enough,"
is enough.
and then they all just start laughing. Like he's like, "Oh, you're right. 9 would have been overkill."
I really love you kids and you my wife. I love you.
God, it just
It's like, do you?
the most modern like iteration of something like that I could think of was just like that fucking. Have you seen that video, the slap,
I don't know.
where the guy's just at a. It's like a British video, and the guy's just at a barbecue. He just starts smacking the shit out of everybody one by one.
Oh, yeah, that commercial.
Yeah, that's like the only thing
Yeah,
I can think of when I watch that. It's just like, is that?
in reference to that, or I don't think so. I think maybe that came out after. What do you
Yeah,
think?
I was like I couldn't find anything about it on like Reddit or the wiki because like when we're watching these episodes, I've seen some of these so many times. I'll be like looking for like little fun facts here and there about it. But this was also the first actual introduction of Rupert, the little bear,
Yeah,
and I love that.
yeah, Stewie's bear.
I love that Stewie was just mirroring. He's just like, "Oh, I'm gonna slap you, and I'm gonna like it."
I'm gonna slap you again.
uh, but like, this is one of my favorite episodes of all time. But my only like issue per se with it is it feels like it takes a little bit to get going than most normal
Mhm,
episodes. Like it, it felt like it wanted to be like 30, 40 minutes long
mhm.
because how like slow like the beginning was.
Yeah.
Um, I also really like this reference to the match game where when May came in, she's like, "Man, it's hot," and everybody was like, "Well, how hot was it?"
And she's like, I don't know,
Mm.
98 degrees?
Yeah, I enjoyed that little reference because that was like the one old show I actually genuinely liked that my grandfathers watched a lot. But this episode kind of solidified that like Brian is Seth MacFarlane's like self-insert OC please don't steal my dog furry persona because there's just like a lot of talking points like especially when we get into later seasons where it's just like um easiest one I can think of is just like any topic involving like the LGBT or something. Brian's
Mm.
just like they're people too. And it's like yes, Brian, we all know the milk toast take, but oh yeah, this is also a minor character's first appearance, Jake Tucker, upside down face kid.
Oh, right, the news guy's child.
Yeah, and he's just sitting there like all disappointed about it because he's just like, oh man, my son does have an upside down face. Why'd you say freak, Diane?
We're all just a little different.
I'm a freak! Runs out Tom Tucker. Oh no.
Oh no. And the co-host is just totally insensitive. Freak.
Dude, she's just a bitch sometimes. But I enjoyed a lot of this episode, especially you know, all of like the Peter and Brian back and forths were really good. Especially like that
Yeah.
random cut to like the old like Steamboat Willie animation.
Yeah.
I was just like, how long did that take to animate?
Probably a while.
Yeah, like I just sat there and I was like really confused about it because it was out of nowhere and I kind of forgot that was like in this episode. But yeah, there was also like the random cut of like Brian mimicking a barbershop quartet.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh yeah, I forgot Seth also just really fucking loves old music. We can't go like a season or an episode without just like some random obscure song from like the 60s.
Making its appearance.
It's just but I enjoyed it. Like it was like a nice good reference.
Yeah.
But um yeah, this was like the start of like the whole Brian subplot of like he wants to be like treated like an actual person and it's like buddy you're a dog, you know, to quote Shrek, do the bark. I
Even though you can talk and walk on two legs, still a dog.
yeah, and it's I know a lot of people get tired of like that plot point because they'll just be like random episodes that just like diverge into Brian just like why don't I have rights? Why
I
don't I?
mean, they do it with Stewie being a baby and people pretending they don't like half understand him.
Yeah, it it's just one thing one of those things where he I think they get more mad about it because like it's like a random segue like there's a I think it's in season 2. There's an episode where like Brian knocks up Lois's dad's racing dog and you know he has to fucking actually take Lois's dad to court for custody of his puppies and I think the judge is just kind of sitting there like the whole time it's like really y'all are wasting my fucking time with this. You know, it's just a it's a thing that's happening.
Yeah.
And the thing I love about like Family Guy subplots is just kind of like they're always just kind of there. You know, nothing else, nothing much. Like you have to
Yeah,
look
just
for them.
little little side stories.
Um we also got like Brian's backstory about how he joined the family,
Yeah,
and
marrying Lois. Or no,
he was a
Brian, not Peter.
yeah,
Brian being a stray.
yeah, like that's a plot point that like I enjoy, but like it gets retconned
Mm,
later, where like you find out that he was just a puppy that they ended up buying.
yeah, the story changes.
Yeah, and it's one that doesn't even really matter that much because depending on like who you ask, it's just like, hey, he's a stray or he's just a puppy that got bought. I don't think anybody really cares about like the Family Guy side stories of like, man, Brian was a puppy on a farm and wants to go rescue his mom,
Yeah.
or just like maybe, oh hey, it's a me, the Brian Griffin. I was a stray.
Peter picked me up off the side of the road.
I'm trying. I really need to work on my handwriting. I'm like looking at one of my notes. It's just like I put
Sometimes I'll read like my stuff at work, like my sticky notes, and I'll be like, "What the fuck was I doing?"
yeah. It was just um. Oh yeah, the fucking Eminem cutaway scene where like the actress lady was just like, "Mama needs some magic, baby,"
Oh yeah,
and he's just like, I'm a candy," and I think they were trying
I'm
to make like
candy covered chocolate.
I think they were trying to make some like ret like I think it was Viagra. Is that like the magic pill?
No, that's for men. It was probably ecstasy.
Probably, but no, I'm trying to read. It's like the the bacon scene, the Batkin scene.
Bacon. Right?
It's like Batacen. Man, I don't know. I also
I'm
put
like
the
half buzzed. I'm trying to remember.
man. I wish I was half buzzed. I also just wrote the dose window scene, dude. I'm gonna work on my handwriting because like I think I was like halfway eating when I was like writing this.
I was eating popcorn while I was watching too, so I don't.
Like I went in my kitchen and just grabbed like this fucking. We made like double decker tacos yesterday, so I was just grabbing one of those because I was just like, dude, I'm hungry.
Oh, we had nachos today. They were good.
Okay, but since my poor excuse of doing this, I gave it a 9.5 out of 10 because like I think that's as close as we're gonna get to like a perfect episode.
Good.
Um, episode 2 was Peter Caviar Eater, where Lois's
Yeah.
aunt dies and she leaves them a mansion, and also how Peter
Episode
and
1, Season 2. It was very good.
oh yeah, I don't think we could have asked for like anything better. Um, so the basic premise is like Lois was getting the house ready for her aunt to come over, and Peter's just like, man,
Mm.
I fucking hate this bitch.
She walks the fucking door,
And,
died right on the spot.
and Peter's just like, you know what they said? Be careful what you ask for. Thank you, God. And it has one of my favorite scenes of all time of like any animated show where Meg was just like, or Chris was talking to Meg and he was just like, hey, what happens if she just like wakes up as we're putting the casket down because she's not really dead? And Meg's just like, well, that's what happened to our brother Jimmy. And mom and dad felt so bad they adopted you. And Chris is just like the most deadpan. What?
What? And then it just cuts away.
Like,
Doesn't elaborate further.
I just love that scene because it just felt like some actual, like, raw emotion that came out of it. It was just like, wait, what?
It feels like a real brother sister rivalry, like poking fun at each other. Just straight up lying to each other's asses.
Yeah, I I can't get that out of my head because nothing, like, nothing's ever just gonna be as funny as just like a child just viscerally like confused.
Yeah. What?
No, this is another episode where it's just we get a special introduction like Lois's parents, which they're gonna be like important characters like later in the series because of they center on a lot of like Peter plots or like um Lois plots because that family is fucking horrendous.
Yeah, I could tell with the way Lois's dad tried to kill Peter.
Yeah, that nothing gets me more than that. Just like fucking beating him with a log as he kicks him into the fire.
Yeah, just accidentally kicks him in the fire. Oh no, I dropped my watch. Can you pick it up, Peter? Kicks his ass in fire and starts beating with a log, and the wife just laughs.
I'm
Fuck.
it doesn't get more like slapstick funny than that. Of just like I legitimately hate you.
Shoot to death with a log.
Um, I,
Oh, we gotta put this fire out. Here, let me grab this fucking log.
but I also enjoyed the song that played. This house is freaking sweet.
Oh yeah.
Like
And then
fam,
they all start to leave like she only paid us for the song.
like nothing gets me more than like a good Family Guy song, especially like one of the little tidbits was just like, "I bet you $10 Blake is gay,"
Yeah.
and it's just like, bro, what the fuck did Blake do?
Well, he made a chocolate cake. That was what. uh,
um. Oh yeah, I just on the actual notes I could read, one of them just says that one outdated blowjob joke where they
for a
fucking
diamond, she has to.
she basically has to.
She basically has to.
And I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, oh.
It had the same energy as like I've sent this picture to you before, but it's like that fucking book that just says you can arouse a woman with a piece of cheese. And
Piece of cheese.
I'm like, bro, I love pieces of cheese.
Cheese and grapes. Kiss
Ooh,
them every time.
okay, okay, yeah, cheese and grapes. The Shining reference when like Stu is exploring the mansion.
Oh yeah.
Come
And Peter
play with us,
blows him up with a
Stewie.
bazooka. Uh,
Like,
Stewie don't play no games.
no.
That man's got some black or some Native American in him.
He fucking you gotta remember they are Native American, like partially.
Oh
Fucking Peter's like great uncle, fucking Chief Grand Cherokee.
yeah. Stewie says I don't play around with no fucking ghost. Blow
um,
your ass up with a bazooka.
and then we got like the fucking the tidbits where it's how Peter and Lois met.
Yeah.
And I love my note that just says Peter used to actually be romantic and do shit.
Dance with Lois.
Hi, here's your Peter. I'm Towel.
Oh wait, no, I'm Peter. Here's your towel. Eh,
And I think that's
eh.
also where they kind of solidified that like Peter's catchphrase is just anything with freaking in it.
Yeah.
That's freaking sweet. That's freaking dumb.
Sweet.
Um, I was also just really confused by like the Frasier Ricky Lake thing because like
Mm.
I think that Ricky Lake joke just said some shit along the lines of like, "Man, what's a guy supposed to do when his girl's got a penis?" Like, oh, I always forget that like these shows were like filmed in like the 1990s, like late, and it was just
Yeah.
like, hey, anything's. I think the way my mom always puts it is like, my generation didn't care, and I'm like, yeah,
Sure.
yeah, stuff's allowed to age, you know.
Eh.
Like I love Family Guy, but I think it's extra funny when you just sit there and you're like, man, someone really sat down and was just like, that joke's pretty funny.
Yeah.
It will not age poorly in like 5 years. But
It won't fall out of taste as society moves on.
I I think that's the other reason I love Family Guy so much. Is just, like it's like the perfect time capsule. I can sit there and watch that episode and be like, yeah, this feels like the '90s.
Eh.
Um, what the fuck did I write? I might actually be drunk. Oh, my Swiss bank account. I thought that says my Swiss barks at a raccoon. Um, sorry if that cough comes through. Like,
Swiss bank account after he bought the $100 million bait.
yeah, and he just in there like, I have it. I have the money in my Swiss bank account. My lawyer
Sometimes you gotta
told
keep
me.
it secret in case things don't work out.
And well, dude, sorry about the cough. Like, I'm like 90% better, but that damn cough won't go away.
No, you're good. I've had like a stuffy nose and a cough for like 2 months.
But like, we get like a good back and forth of just like, here's Peter, here's him as a dick.
Oh, that was Brian though. Brian like brainwashed him with electroshock therapy.
Yeah, because like he wanted to be taken seriously because he's like, oh, Lois's parents won't like me if I'm not fancy and hoity-toity and rich.
Yeah.
I'm just like,
Peter Brian says you're not a gentleman, Peter.
uh, and like he had everybody calling him Lord Griffin.
Lord Griffin.
Like, nice, just thanks, dude. Um, another one of my favorite jokes was just like when he was like, "Oh fuck, I need to like actually get money. I'm gonna try to dupe the
Yeah.
historical society." Jesus carved his name here.
Harriet Tubman's secret railroad beneath the floorboards.
That was one of my. That's actually the one I wrote down. Was just like the Underground Railroad. Go,
The
Freedom Train,
Underground
go.
Railroad. Go, Peter Train, go.
I don't think I've seen anybody like so fucking stupid in my life. Like
Then
it.
Peter Griffin.
Like I'm not gonna lie. I feel like he'd be a fucking like blast to hang out with, like IRL.
I'd fuck with him 100% all the time.
Like I fuck with him on a spiritual level. Like
Mm.
how does that quote go? He doesn't have the words, but he has the spirit.
Yeah,
That's how I feel about him. It's just like
something like that. He doesn't have the skill, but man, does he have the drive.
the other one I just like not like put down was just like Abe Lincoln's Jungle Fever.
Oh yeah. Oh, 'cause they found the pictures in the wall behind the picture.
Yeah, and there was like that
That's how
one
they saved their house.
and that one joke killed you where it's just like, did you learn your lesson, Peter? Yes, your family was a bunch of pimps and whores.
Yeah, it's so good. It's like they're not as high and mighty as you think they are.
It,
They're
it
just all pimps and whores.
yeah, it's so fucking beautiful. It's just like he's just blunt about it.
Yeah, I mean it's true.
But getting on to our last episode. Oh yeah, that one. That I gave that one another 9.5 because it was just good.
Was so good.
Like I enjoy Family Guy when it's just like a coherent story.
Yeah.
Like there's no fucking like I think we saw that like last episode with like one of the episodes where it was just like it felt like half the story was like the setup, and then like, oh shit, we gotta rush this landing.
We gotta make it make sense somehow, sort of.
Yeah. So the last one was holy crap, and my little my little fucking shitty handwriting just says Peter's dad's a dick, featuring the Pope.
I mean, that's all it was, really. Dad retires. Peter hasn't lived with them. Dad is a crazy religious freak. The Pope comes. Things get settled.
So, um,
One of the popes. All the popes look the same. They're just all fake popes.
they're all just white guys.
Yeah, they're all just white guys. They just take turns.
But
Take turns being the pope.
I actually found some fun facts for this episode. Apparently, it was supposed to be titled Popapalooza, but they for some reason they couldn't. But they got away with holy crap. So I'm like, what's wrong with Popapalooza? But this was
You can't like change the name of the pope into something else. Maybe they don't like that.
it's something like that. But this is the last episode with Meg's voice actress Lacey Chabert.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting replaced by Mila Kunis. You might know who that is
Oh.
from that '70s show.
Oh, does she play the dark hair girl?
She plays Ashton Kutcher's girlfriend in that one.
Yeah, that's right.
So that's who's going to be replacing Meg going forward. But I think I got kind of lazy when it came to writing down shit because some of these episodes I either get really into them or I'm looking for these facts and stuff.
Yeah.
So my favorite joke from this was when they were talking about how fucking how shitty Peter's dad was. It was that father son three-legged race, and Peter won third place, and it just says Peter Griffin and his stalk of corn. And I'm just like, don't they usually like have like guys that can like fill in for that stuff at those things?
Depends on the program and where they are, maybe.
Because like I remember when they had it at my school, because you know this. I don't think the audience knows this. I don't know my father that well, so they had a teacher fill in for mine because for some reason, no matter where I go to school, there's always just exactly three male teachers.
Yeah.
But the hell did I write down? Oh, when Chris was talking about Peter's dad, he just said his fucking ears look like a big gray enchanted forest.
Harry, it was at the banquet.
Yeah, and the fucking elves just came in. He was just like, "Habaditchude." I
Let's go dance in the field. No, you, I'm bashful or some shit like that.
and he's just like, I, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I could have wrote gayer characters than that. But there was also like that fucking misunderstanding where like Francis Peter's dad had to go use the bathroom, and Chris comes in. He's like, "Hey man, you might want to go light a match. Were you jerking off in there, boy?"
Yeah, right.
And I'm just like, I just wrote down the fucking thing of Chris was cranking his hog, and I was just like, proto gooner. Oh yeah, I think this is also like around the time where like Chris is canonically in middle school.
Mhm.
Cause like I know they just get tired of that whole fucking shit really early, and they're just like, fuck it. Meg and Chris are in the same grade in the same school. Just a fucking fuck it, we ball. But I enjoyed that little running joke with that, where it was just like Chris just used the bathroom. Peter's dead. Bro, are you a freak? In public?
Freak? Oh, they're at the ball game and he has to go to the bathroom and his dad's like, in public.
And because like Stewie also had that fucking thing where he was reading Winnie the Pooh, and Chris is like, "Don't say poo."
Don't say poo.
Oh yeah, one of the one of the gags that they try. I know it started in the finale of season one. I just never commented on it because like it's just so fucking forgettable, like throwaway-ish. But like I think this is the last episode they tried it, or like there's another one later on. But it's like when fucking Lois is just always like, "Don't say that," and then just repeats the fucking word.
Oh yeah.
Or that's a horrible word, Pussy
That's a
Willow.
horrible word. Pussy Willow.
And I love Lois on like some levels, but like some of the shit they try with her really early on is just really annoying.
Yeah.
Um, oh yeah, the one in like this episode 7 of season 1 was just that's a horrible word, nipple.
Nipple.
And I'm just like, bro, do you want him to use like the fucking government terminology? Oh mother, I think I saw her areola.
Areola.
Like I don't know why. Anytime I have to say something like professionally or like governmentally, I just like keep thinking about like I want to say it like a British person, but
Oh yeah, with like an accent.
yeah.
It
Um.
feels even worse like if I use like government term like penis.
Oh yeah.
Like just let me use the slang.
Drip. That's a horrible word. It's penis.
Penis. Let me say cock. God damn it.
Oh yeah. This is another episode where the fucking sunroom was seen.
Oh yeah.
Like I don't know why. I'm just like I have a little counter every time like it's seen because like I'm eventually just gonna make a compilation anytime I see those fucking annoying posts on Twitter where it's just like, has this ever been used?
Mm.
And I'm just like, bro, just shut the fuck up. I'm gonna harp on that every time. But the oh yeah, another like interesting thing I wanted to touch upon was like fucking, especially in like today's climate politically, like Peter's dad feels like an actual motherfucker that could exist.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Like he'd probably be like the senator of Alabama or some shit.
He's just somebody's neighborhood dad that's a total dick.
Yeah, it's just
Would never become the post bouncer like what Peter's dad does, but definitely an asshole like that.
well, you always got to remember like they're Christian adjacent.
Christian adjacent Catholics, yeah. I mean, they're so close, they're basically the same. So, I mean, what the fuck is the difference?
Yeah, it's like people like Peter's dad are like how actual Christian people used to be.
Yeah.
Because especially like that whole fucking thing where he made the comment about like 5 a.m. mass.
Yeah. I don't
And,
know, Christian people are even worse. They go on fucking Wednesdays, too.
oh yeah, I remember. I remember in elementary school, this girl was like, um, she was like inviting people to go to church with her on Wednesdays, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, well maybe I can stay the night afterwards." I'm like, I remember my fucking head turned around. I was just like, "You go to church on Wednesday?"
Goes to church on Wednesdays. I remember my mom, her parents, like, I think when they divorced and her mom got remarried to her stepdad, they would, like, go to church. I think people had like go to church on Tuesdays too. So it was Tuesdays, or maybe it was Mondays, and then Wednesday, and then fucking Sunday too. It's like what the fuck?
That's
Maybe
just
it was Fridays. Like why do you gotta go to church so much? Like Wednesdays, Fridays, and Sundays. What the fuck's wrong with you?
that's always like the weirdest thing. That's like the weirdest thing to me is just they have like these because like most people they're just like okay yeah I'll go to church on Sat or Sundays.
Mm,
And then you have like these weirder like offshoots. Like I say weirder. I'm sorry if that offends anybody. Like I know about like the major ones, like Baptist, Buddhist. No, not fucking
yeah.
Buddhist or Lutheran. My mom was telling me that like there was this girl she was friends with, and while she was growing up, and her church schedule was something along the lines of like Wednesday, Saturday, Sunday.
Mm.
And I was just like, I don't think I could go to church that much. Because like,
Yeah.
there's nothing wrong with going to church. Like, it's just like I feel
No,
like
I
the.
totally get it.
Oh yeah, I was
It's
just
just not something I could sit through. I don't even like, didn't even like, I don't go anymore, but even Sunday school and like sitting through regular church afterwards is a fucking
it's
nightmare.
it's also just such a
It's
weird
just not my
schedule.
thing.
Because like, isn't it
Yeah.
like 9 to 1?
Depends on where you go. I do believe the church that I used to go to would end at like 10 o'clock. So you'd have to get there early at like 7 or some shit, and then you'd have Sunday school, and then maybe sit through an hour of mass, and like the adults would sit through like the whole 7 to 10 and mass. So for the kids, it was a little bit easier. Sunday school might be a little bit more fun, but I mean, it's still church. They're still preaching to your ass. It's just dumbed down to not be so, uh, scary as
Yeah,
the Old Testament is. More
and
harsh and God fearing instead of God loving. You know what I mean?
yeah, and that's like definitely how Peter's dad felt. Was like one of those like,
God fearing man. That was a
yeah,
God fearing man.
yeah, and it's my biggest issue with like the depiction of Peter's dad as like one of these like traditionally older Christian men is
Yeah.
just like,
Or Catholic in Peter's term.
yeah, is it's
But they're so close. I mean, Catholic, Christian, who gives a fuck?
yeah, but like
Sorry if that offends people, but I mean, for real.
it, you know how I always say it's like the same shit, different flavor.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But
Each religion takes from each other, and, when you really look at it, they're all basically the same, unless they have several. But it's just split up, same God split up into different,
branches.
deities and gods and branches.
But that's like my biggest issue with like Peter's dad in this case was just like they kind of went the route of like if you don't agree with him,
You're
he's
wrong.
yeah, and he kind of felt like those offshoots of like those guys who are just like it's not my fault. God's punishing you, and
I'm just gonna be a dickhead, but it's God's will.
yeah, and it's I think that's like the issue a lot of people have with like Christianity, especially in 1990 times, was just like, or as like a lot of people like pose their like views on modern gay people, especially. It's like, hey, I don't really care as long as you aren't pushing that shit off onto me.
Yeah.
And I feel like someone like Francis in this case is like a really good view as an extremist
Mm.
because as much as like it hurts people, I feel like you learn a lot better from these extreme examples
Mm.
because like you're always gonna run into somebody like that. But to like course correct a little bit, um, Peter was like facing a lot of stuff in this episode where he was just like he wants to be accepted by his dad.
Yeah, he wants to know his dad loves him.
Yeah, and we we got that fucking we got that like view of it when they had like that random cutaway of just like fucking um when they were like in the fucking junkyard when they were like portrayed as like a black cartoon character.
Oh yeah, owning their own business.
Yeah, and he was just like cut these tubs in half and put a baby Mary in them.
And the dad was like, "Oh, good job, son," or some shit like that. Like proud of him for thinking of some stupid ass scheme.
Yeah. And I wrote down my notes. I was like, I can't tell if this was fucking Fat Albert or Mumford and Sons.
I don't know.
Like that's what I love is just trying to figure out like what the fuck is this old school reference.
Yeah, this
Um,
is mean.
I also really enjoyed the knockout guy who was just like, ah, see, I can fall asleep like this.
Yeah, making it so easy. Just a knock on the head knocks me out, and he hits his own head and just fucking passes out.
It's like, did he expect like Peter to fucking catch him and wake him up?
I don't know.
But
I think it was just a plot point, a stupid plot point to make it so Peter could steal the Pope's car.
oh yeah, I also enjoyed how they fucking used Jeebus. Just like randomly had
Uh-huh.
Jeebus as like a word where it's like, hey, is this spelled correctly? Jeebus.
Oh yeah, like did you ever notice on page 59 it's spelled Jeebus? And the other guy's like, it's supposed to be Jesus, isn't it?
I
Like,
don't
well,
know.
you should fucking know.
But
You're a pope.
I think we put it best. This was like a good like 3 for 3 episode.
Yeah. All three episodes, the final of season one, and then episode one and episode two of season two were really good.
I don't think we could have asked for like a better run account
Nah.
because like they all did their own thing in their own beautiful way.
They all had set storylines, it wasn't jumping around from one to the other.
No, and like all of the cutaway gags were like pretty all right.
Yeah.
But I think that's a good place to end it off. Is like this was a really solid count, and I think season 2 is starting off really well, especially like building off of like the really short frame that season 1 had.
Yeah. What did you rate a episode or the third episode that we watched? Season
I gave it a
episode one of
9
season
because
two.
like there was some
At a
parts.
9.5.
No, just a 9. Like because
Just a 9.
yeah, there's like some parts where I didn't really like it, but like it's really hard to fault because it was just really solid.
Yeah.
Like
Nine's still really good.
oh yeah. Like once again, the only part I really didn't like was just the ham-fisted like Christian extremist shit, but like, it had to be used for this episode.
Yeah.
But you got any fun?
As it referred to Peter's dad.
Yeah. But you got any final words you want to say?
Um, no. Besides, sorry if we offended anyone.
Oh no,
It
dude.
was the
Like
topic of the episode.
oh yeah, like
I mean, it is what it is.
I don't think it's going to offend anybody. It's one of those
I
things
mean,
where
they
it
are
it was going to be
watching a
brought up.
podcast of Family Guy, so I mean, what do they expect? And it's our point of views.
Watch, we're gonna get like mentioned on like the fucking news as like something like JD Vance just watched while on the shitter. But this is a really good set of episodes. I'll see y'all later. This is really good.
Yeah, see you guys next